the art of listening. 80% of our waking hours is spent in communication as either speaking, listening, reading or writing. Of these, listening accounts for 50% of our communication. Yet we give surprising little attention to this part of the communication process, simply taking it for granted that everyone knows how to listen. Listening is such a passive activity, we don't pay attention to it. In fact, most of us find the prolonged concentration required for truly effective listening too hard to maintain. Why do we retain only 25% of what we hear? The average person speaks at about 130 words per minute, and our thinking speed is about 500 words per minute. So we jump ahead of what is being said, our minds wander, and we are actually thinking about other things in particular like, what are we going to say next? We don't clear our minds before entering into a conversation, and we rarely are truly listening to what the person is really saying. We are too busy problem solving, making lists while the other person gets to their point, which often we have decided that we already know. Our own emotions further distract us from listening, and it doesn't take too much of a trigger for our own feelings to pop up. A look, a phrase, and we are often running with our own stories, our own assumptions, annoyances, anxiety, anger, or fear. Our ability to listen is seriously impaired when we are distracted by feelings, especially those we wouldn't want to admit to. With Aboriginal clients in particular, we miss important opportunities to build and strengthen relationships by jumping in and speaking too soon. We spend many years learning how to communicate. We're taught how to read and write, how to speak and debate, how to speak in public and so on, yet we are not taught how to navigate the waters of communication and the art of listening. To truly hear and to be truly heard requires effective communication, and yet we forget this when we are working alongside our clients and patients. Only 7% of what we say is understood through the spoken word. The rest is either body language and voice tone and inflection. And with our clients or patients who feel a lack of trust and have not established rapport with us, the way we communicate and how we listen is critical. Aboriginal people practice deep listening as an almost spiritual skill, and it is based on respect. It is sometimes called the diri. Deep listening is inner, quiet, still awareness and waiting. The diri is practiced by many Aboriginal women in many Aboriginal communities all over Australia. Here are some Aboriginal words for deep listening. Reflective listening is critical when working with Aboriginal families. Rarely do we take the time to reflect on the quality of our listening skills. In fact, the only time we may become aware of them is when there has been a breakdown in communications. Often, however, this is when we become defensive instead of seeing this as an opportunity to learn something about the way we listen and communicate. How well do you think you listen?